Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Gashi's Kaman TV. When it comes to political games, when it comes to scheming, when it comes to political machinations, William Samoei Ruto is always ahead of the pack. William Samoei Ruto is always ahead of the opponent. William Samoei Ruto has been saying that he's a founder member of ODM. William Samoei Ruto has even been threatening to expel Sifuna from ODM. Yet we know that William Samoei Ruto is the leader of UDA. If you look at Raila Amolo Odinga, there's an agreement between William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga. I want to put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, that William Samoei Ruto is likely to vie for the presidency in 2027 using ODM. Ukisikia vile ambavyo wamekuwa wakisema jambo hili and so many things, and then when you look at the way the ODM leaders have been treating William Samoei Ruto, including those who have been opposing, you agree with me that the game is a bit complicated. Do you agree with me that it is not just about the broad-based government? It is beyond 2027. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want us to look at what would make the president consider or choose ODM as his vehicle to State House in 2027. You have been hearing Raila Amolo Odinga saying that ODM is going to have a candidate. But when you look at ODM, I don't see a candidate who can vie apart from Raila Amolo Odinga. But it is also very clear that Raila Amolo Odinga understands very clearly that he cannot win the 2027 general elections. It is very clear that his popularity has gone down and therefore he cannot contest. So it is very, very clear. So this candidate that Raila has been talking about most likely is William Samoei Ruto. So in my view, the following would make William Samoei Ruto use ODM instead of UDA. And all the reasons, when you look at it, it's all about strategy. There are strategic reasons. Number one, in my view, is the infrastructure of ODM. ODM has branches all over the country. ODM, when you look at it, you agree with me that in every sub-county, there's an office of ODM. When you look at UDA, UDA look like it's a regional party. It's just in Rift Valley, and the shops in Mount Kenya have been closed. So when you look at ODM, ODM is very, very attractive due to its infrastructures. Number two is because of perceptions. You know, politics is all about perceptions. The perception now is that UDA cannot win in the elections. The perception is William Samoei Ruto may not even have people in some constituencies who are going to vie using UDA if he is going to be the presidential candidate. People will be running away from UDA. So the perception is, like now, if that is the perception and UDA is there, basi kile ambacho kitajitokeza ni kwamba kwa sababu watu wanaonelea ODM is a better option, they are likely to vie using ODM. Let me ask you, if you are to vie for a political office in your constituency, wherever you are, would you use UDA or ODM? And your guess is as good as mine. Number three is because when you look at ODM, ODM has a stronger base compared to other parties. You look at the parties that are in Kenya today, we have Wiper, UDA, and ODM. When you look at the political base, you realize that ODM has a wider base. UDA has only been left in the Rift Valley, and it's not all the parts of the Rift Valley. Wiper is predominantly a Kaba party. When you look at ODM, although it is occupied, although it is owned by the Luo Nation, you realize that it has support base all over the country. Mombasa, Nairobi, Nyanza, Western, name it. So this is something that would be very, very attractive to William Samoei Ruto, and he would like to inherit the supporters of ODM. The other reason is because when you look at UDA, UDA is very, very weak. UDA has been weakened completely, especially after Mount Kenya bolted out, especially after Gachagua was impeached. I was looking at Gachagua yesterday in Kajiado, the way he was attracting a huge crowd. I was looking at him in Gong, the way everybody wanted to see Gachagua, the way everybody wanted to listen to Gachagua, even using phone calls. And then William Samoei Ruto cannot be able to attract such a crowd. UDA, there's no leader in UDA who can attract the crowd that Raila can attract or Gachagua can attract. So UDA is completely weakened. In fact, it's just a shell. It is on its deathbed. I'm not sure that there will be anybody outside Rift Valley who is going to vie using UDA. And this one would only make ODM very, very attractive to William Samoei Ruto. Again, when you look at ODM ina viongozi ambao wana nguvu, viongozi maarufu, watu kama Sifuna, if they are going to board, watu kama Babu Owino, if at all they are going to board, I think what will happen is that William Samoei Ruto is likely to get a running mate from ODM, and I've always said this. And this one would actually make ODM very, very attractive. And this way, he's going to win the hearts and the minds of people of ODM, that's the supporters of Raila Amolo Odinga. And who would be that candidate, ladies and gentlemen? People have been saying that it's Gladys Wanga, the grapevine, the street talk, watu, wanaamini ni Gladys Wanga. That's why I've always been saying that Kithure Kindiki is a transitional deputy president. And because a deputy president is a heartbeat away from the presidency, I think ODM, Raila's people, are likely to buy this idea. If you look at Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula, these days they have gone slow. If you look at them, they are not talking much. If you look at them, they are not happy. If you look at their body language, they are not defending William Samoei Ruto the way they would defend William Samoei Ruto. This one tells you there's something they know and they are not happy about it. And most likely, it is that, initially people thought that Mudavadi would also be a very capable deputy president. People thought that maybe in 2027, to win the Murebe nation, William Samoei Ruto would go for Musalia Mudavadi. But now when you look at the way things are, it will look like it is not going to happen. And therefore, when you look at it, you can see that why. Because ODM is likely to give William Samoei Ruto a person who is actually a governor, most likely a governor. That's why they are going for Wanga, somebody who has Raila's blessings. That's why you have been seeing Gladys Wanga convening various meetings of ODM leaders, and people have been going there. Ukiona Jabu, dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Tunaona haya wazi wazi, cheupe cheupe. The other thing that would make William Samoei Ruto want to use ODM is because of the experience of Raila Amolo Odinga. If these guys unite in a campaign, I think they can attract crowds. Although their popularity is winning, especially that of Raila, they still have people who are likely to follow them. Unlike when William Samoei Ruto is vying as an independent candidate or maybe using UDA, because I think William Samoei Ruto is very much aware that kutumia chama cha UDA kugombea kiti cha urais ni sawasawa na kuogelea katika bahari Hindi. That is my take, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, please, I request one thing, like the video, and have a blessed Monday. Bye-bye.